Paul Levinson, and welcome to Light On, Light Through, episode 231, my review of Dexter, New Blood, episodes 1.7 and 1.8. Well, the big question for Dexter in episode 1.7 was whether Angela and the police would arrest and convict Kurt, or would he, in Dexter's inimitable inner voice, end up on Dexter's, quote, killing table. Big spoilers ahead. But that episode ended with Dexter being kidnapped by one of Kurt's tools. The significance of this is what has been clear all along. Kurt is capable. He's a capable opponent of Dexter for sure. He's unflappable under all kinds of questioning in all kinds of situations. He's fast on his feet, quick to come up with a plausible and savvy explanation for his DNA on the bit of skin on Iris's tooth. Kurt says it's his father's, whose DNA, of course, would be similar but not identical to Kurt's. But in a deteriorated sample in that cave all those years, which could lose those differences or make them unclear, with the result that Kurt could not be successfully prosecuted. So 1 up for Kurt. And Dexter therefore has no choice but to go after Kurt and get Kurt on that killing table, but that won't be easy. Not only is Kurt cunning, but Dexter has to get Kurt on the table right under Angela's nose. And though she and Dexter drew closer in this episode, no small feat given that she had discovered Dexter's true identity, Molly, who has turned out to be a pretty sharp cookie, is now getting Angela suspicious of Dexter maybe doing more than just taking on a new identity. Meanwhile, Dexter has something of a breakthrough with Harrison. That was good to see. Actually, a big breakthrough in realizing Dexter, has to tell Harrison about the serial killings Dexter did in Miami. But it's impossible to know how that will work out. It could conceivably strengthen Harrison's impulse to violence, and that would be precisely what Dexter doesn't want for his son. With just 3 episodes left of this outstanding rebooted series, here's a prediction. Harrison's predilection to cause people bodily harm will help Dexter, maybe even save his life in Dexter's battle with Kurt. Okay, let's go on to episode 8. I thought it was an excellent episode. Very satisfying, even though we knew pretty much exactly how this episode would end. And again, spoilers ahead. And what I meant by that, knowing how this episode would end, is we knew there was no way that Kurt was going to kill Harrison, however close he came to doing that, because Harrison is too important a character in this season, and I hope in seasons that I hope will follow. But Kurt came pretty close. And all I regret about that scene in his cabin with Harrison is that I couldn't have some of that venison, because it sure looked good. But the single best moment in this episode is Harrison hugging Dexter in the car after Dexter tells his son about that dark passenger that he and Harrison have within them. That hug in itself will be the basis of everything that comes after, everything we'll ever see between Dexter and Harrison. And the ball is now in Angela's court. She's beginning to get some evidence to confirm her suspicion that we saw emerging in the last episode, that Dex is the Bay City butcher. And it's tough to see how all this will be resolved with just 2 episodes left to this season. I can't quite see Dexter throwing her off track at this late date. But I can't see Dexter killing her. That's not going to happen. And I can't quite see him going to prison either. I suppose Dexter might allow himself to get locked up if that in some way safeguarded Harrison. But how could Dexter protect Harrison if Dexter were behind prison bars? The future, as some philosopher once said, is always opaque. And especially so in these concluding episodes of this season, and that's a good thing for this series. And I'll see you back here soon with my review of the forthcoming episodes of Dexter. Well, I hope you enjoyed that review of these 2 episodes of Dexter. I'll be back here next week in the new year with a review of the next episode of Dexter. But before then, and before the year ends, I'll be back with one more podcast review of Station 11. And in case you missed that review, let me wish you now a happy new year. 2021 has been a tough year for sure. Let's hope 2022 is better. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sound, and enjoy.
The Light on Light Through podcast.
Athens, 2042 AD. She ripped the paper in half, then ripped the halves, then ripped what was left again into bits and pieces of history that could have been. Sierra Waters had read once that, years ago, it was thought that men made love for the thrill, while women made love for the sense of connection it gave them.
Curled Up with a Good Book says, Sierra Waters is sexy as hell. You can find out more about The Plot to Save Socrates by Paul Levinson at theplottosavesocrates.com.
Paul Levinson Silk Code about an ancient biotech war raging on in secret for centuries.